Hey guys, it's Zoe. Welcome back. Now, this is a part 2 of the John Deere's Creator Day event, but if you missed part 1, you can watch it later, watch it after this. Okay, so on the planter, we got to test out furrow vision. So basically, this is cameras on 3 of the row units that allow you to, in real time, look directly down into the furrow as you are planting. So with this tech, you wouldn't have to get out and dig seed in theory. It shows you exactly what the furrow looks like as you are driving.
A camera that kind of points this way. Okay. So we're seeing the furrow open up, and there's a laser kind of top mounted, which shoots across the furrow.
8R, 340, yep. And then, okay, a 1795. First and foremost, the seat adjustments.
Planter has been put down.
Okay, and you have the auto turn in here, so
exactly.
Really you don't have to do.
Yeah, and so what we wanted to highlight here is with the foundational tech of guidance, you can now take your mind off of getting the planter across the field. Yeah. And you can look at furrow vision, and furrow vision is sort of a tool for us around job quality. And you're able to now look at the furrow, assess the quality of the furrow. You can adjust things like your row cleaners, your downforce. If you're not hitting depth, what do I need to do to hit depth? So the other thing I'll show you, and we can configure it so they come together. We just had them separate today. So you'll see here, this is where we're actually measuring depth.
I know it was not planting in super ideal conditions this spring. I wonder if I had this tech on my planter, if I would have held off in a few different fields, seeing what my furrows looked like.
Okay, we're going for a ride in the autonomous, because obviously we're not going to drive it, right? Okay, so we're going to run the autonomy. So first we go into here, we click it on. We are riding along. We're not going to exit the cab. Confirming. On. Look, Mom, no hands.
It's that set of information.
This thing backs up better than I do.
Then I jumped out of the cab because obviously it is cooler to watch the autonomous ready tractor without someone riding in it. It was very cool to watch in person, but also like a little eerie. Like it looks like a ghost is driving this tractor, you know? Out of all the different tech that they were displaying on this day, I do feel like this was definitely the crowd favorite. When this tractor is running without anyone in the cab, you can monitor settings and make adjustments just from the mobile app.
Would you like to drive the tractor?
It is 4:06. Laura, how are we doing today?
You know, honestly, we're doing okay. A tad bit windburnt, I would probably say, but I have checked so many things off of my tractor driving bucket list today. It's been a big one for me.
What has been your favorite thing to drive so far?
I would say probably my favorite thing so far has maybe just been the See and Spray sprayer, just because that's something that I have really never done. But I also got the chance to drive a 2-track tractor for the first time today. I've never done that. I did not like it. It was so not for me. I will keep my wheels and tires. Thank you very much.
That's how all of the construction equipment, it was like when we got into all of the tilting, all the different angles, the 3D of it all, I was like, oh, I am out of my wheelhouse.
I definitely felt that exact same way.
So we are not going to turn into construction folks?
No, I don't think so. The excavation, that is so not for me. I will stick with tractor driving for sure. It has really just reaffirmed that farming is definitely what I was made to be doing.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay, it's day 2. Got the fit is fitting.
So there's that cutting edge wears. You can measure it. You can go on your screen. You can change it. Same with the.
One thing I really liked about this event is that we got to learn a whole bunch of things about construction. There were a handful of contractors there, and they had a panel where they explained to us what their day-to-day operations look like, what they're looking for in technology, and how John Deere's helping them. If you asked me what this piece of equipment was called a couple weeks ago, I honestly would not be able to tell you. This is a motor grader, and it's using Auto Smart Grade, which automatically adjusts the blade or whatever bucket you are operating. Since returning home from this trip, I feel like I see construction equipment everywhere I go. Obviously, it was there before. I think now just that I've learned some stuff about it, I'm being more observant of what I'm seeing.
Ready to dig or backfill. The hydraulic lines, everything is done automatically.
In the afternoon of the second day of our trip, we toured the Des Moines Works factory. The first machine to come out of this factory was a 226 corn picker in 1948. So today we checked out the self-propelled sprayers and cotton picker assembly lines. Boy, have things changed since 1948. First up, we saw a robotic device that helps cut and move tons and tons of steel. While John Deere is using AI in the fields to make things like spraying more efficient, it's also using AI in the factories to make their assembly lines more efficient, and they can decrease the physical labor needed of their employees and lessen the room for error. They use the term mistake proofing. So they're mistake proofing the manufacturing process, because let's think about it. The cotton pickers alone have more than 3,000 parts. So this is a lot of things that need to be remembered in the manufacturing process. I know that the JD that works on my farm would absolutely love the level of organization that is at these John Deere factories. So this is obviously a ginormous facility, and you have to have so many pieces and parts and different things to put together. Cotton pickers, sprayers, and so this whole factory has a RFID inventory tracking system. That means if you look up a part, you can tell exactly where it's at, where it's located at all times, and that's kind of what helps keep everything organized here. The thing that I kept thinking about on this tour is, okay, so what can I do on my farm to increase my efficiency and my level of production? Like, honestly, if I could just put tools back where they belong, I would save myself so much time just looking for things that I've misplaced or stuck in weird areas. And right here we are driving down the assembly line of the cotton pickers. We got out and looked at an AI system there using basically some cameras. We'll look at the cotton pickers as they go down the line and verify that everything is done correctly. This guy is covering up some of the warning stickers that should be located right there. And then when he pulls his hand back, you can see that the AI system verifies that they are there in the correct spot and it's ready to move on down the line. Having these tools at the employee's disposal would make it a lot easier to train people quickly, because they just have to go down the checklist and verify that everything is green pretty much. So one way I was thinking I could implement this idea on my farm is just making checklists of the processes I need to do. For example, like all the things I need to grease on the corn header in the fall. So just every morning when I go to grease the corn header, I can just check all of the zerks off a list. Okay, then we got to check out the robots that they use at this factory. These little things are pretty cool and very smart.
If you see on the map, don't make it angry.
So let's say an employee knows that they need more nuts. They just plug into the system what they need. The robots know exactly where they're located inside the factory, and they go and they pick them up and deliver them to the employee by themselves. During the next stop of the tour, the new CTO, Chief Tractor Officer Rex, jumped into the demonstration to show how the sensors on wrenches are used to measure torque. So as an employee tightens these fittings, there is a beep that notifies them when the fitting is tight enough, and the system verifies that all fittings have been tightened to the perfect level of torque before they can move on to the next step of the assembly process. Today in our shop, we were replacing a whole bunch of spikes for our harrow on our field cultivator, and I know there was numerous times that I just forgot to tighten one or two bolts here or there. So this is just another example of a way to mistake proof. And the last stop of the tour, we went through the checklist that the John Deere employees go through once they get a sprayer off the line. So basically, they get up in the cab, they verify that everything works, and then they ship it off to customers. Now, unfortunately for me, everything that we saw at the factory today is definitely out of my price range. This cotton picker cost about $1.2 million. I just have to thank John Deere so much for sending me to Iowa, letting me experience all of this cool technology and hang out with my internet friends for a few days, IRL. And thank you guys so much for supporting my content and making trips like this possible for me. Okay, it is 3:51. My Uber gets here in 5 minutes. I'm tired. Got back into Columbus midday on Thursday, got back to the farm for a few hours to handle a couple things here and there, and then back to Columbus on Friday to learn more about the Dean's Charity Steer Show. The Dean's Charity Steer Show is an annual event that benefits the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. And it's going to be on Tuesday, July 30th at 2 p.m. at the Ohio State Fair. So this event is hosted by the Dean of the Ohio State University College of Food, Agriculture, and Environmental Sciences, which is where I graduated from. And there will be 11 teams competing against each other. Not only are we competing in the ring for actually knowing how to show a steer, but we're also competing to see who can raise the most funds. Now, I showed dairy beef feeders in high school, so I have probably a little bit more base knowledge than a lot of the other media personnel. However, dairy beef is a lot different than showing a steer. I've never used a show stick. And honestly, I was never the greatest at showmanship. So I needed a lot of refreshers. And honestly, I still have some training to do before this show, because if I'm coming in there saying I'm a person who already knows things about agriculture, I need to make sure I don't make a fool of myself in the ring. In the afternoon, we went and we toured the Ronald McDonald House in Columbus, Ohio. So when a child is in the hospital, the family needs to be close to them. So this house is set up directly across the street from Nationwide Children's Hospital, and it allows families a place to stay while their kids are receiving treatment, so they don't have to worry about getting hotels, driving long distances each and every day, and just provides a sense of normalcy, a place that families can hang out, eat a meal together, and focus on getting their children healthy. Now, if this feels like something that you would like to help donate any funds to, I will put a link in the bottom of this video so you can go check out the donation website. And stay tuned to see how we do in the ring next month. Thanks for watching this week's video. Next week, I will be doing a recap of all the things that happened on the farm this week. It was a challenging week, lots of minor breakdowns, and also maybe a very concerning issue with our grain bin. Can't get corn to flow out of that. That's never a good sign. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like this video. Leave me a comment of something you want me to, I don't know, make a video on or talk about next. Have a good week. Bye.